Good morning to Madam Roslinda. My name is Muhammad Zulfadhli bin Rudy, ID number 12020090196, and I'm taking diploma in multimedia. Today I'm being joined by my friends Ash and Syed,
Hello, my
Syed
name.
and Shaufi.
Hello, good morning, madam. My name is Syed Muhammad Harith Ashman bin Syed Muhammad Hafiz. My ID is 0120200901777, and my program is Diploma in Multimedia.
Hello and good morning, madam. My name is Ahmad Shaufi bin Abdullah. I am from Diploma in Game Design and Animation. My ID is 012020072209.
And today we are going to present our final project, which is about an interactive learning content for primary school students. So let's talk about the background of our project. We were tasked to make an interactive learning content for primary school students, and the content of the project is mainly about the lessons and quizzes to teach year one students about some topics of mathematics year one. So we use a variety of multimedia elements like text, image, video, animation, and sound in teaching these lessons and quizzes to the students. In creating the lessons and quizzes, we took reference from a year one mathematic textbook and also some inspiration from the internet to figure out the best method in efficiently teaching the students about some topics of year one mathematics. And for the next part, we'll pass it on to Shaufi to explain the objectives of our project.
Okay, so the aim we have set for this project are to improve education for students in primary school. We will certify the learning style and requirement of the student. To make the learning process a positive one, the immersive learning content we have will increase productivity and usability. In terms of mobility and time engaged learner in the learning process, students will improve their flexibility. Then, in addition, the result of this project is that we want our online learning website to provide students with information and to learn as much as possible. We accept we expect positive review from this project, or else we will do our best to strengthen this project. With all these multimedia elements put together in this project, we strive and provide students with the best e-learning experience. We hope that many learners can become popular in the future with this immersive learning material. That's next.
Okay, so next I'll be talking about target user. So the target user for this project are students who are in primary one learning mathematics at their school. This project was initiated to help students understand three topics from the mathematics year one syllabus, which are money, numbers from 1 to 100, and addition and subtraction. During time like this in COVID-19, students are forced to stay at home and learn by themselves. So with our interactive learning content, there will be no hassle and it will be easy for them to gain knowledge and learn from us. Besides that, our target audience also could be coming from lecturers, from universities or primary school teachers that are looking for a nice interactive learning for their students, and also parents from the students. Next, I'll be talking about the scope of the project. The project will use menus of interactive content to teach the students. The menu will be split into three categories, which are the main menu, the lesson menu, and the quiz menu. On the main menu, there will be a play button, and if the students click on it, it will lead to another menu, which contains both for the quiz and lesson menus. Students can choose which lesson or quiz they want to learn first. They will be have three subtopics, which are of course money, numbers from 1 to 100, addition and subtraction. Students can learn any type of topics they want from time to time. So it's up to students which they like to learn first. I'll be passing back to Zo.
Okay, for the next part, we will be starting our interactive learning content project. So without further ado, let's start the project.
So this is our main page for our project. I do it myself. So the element that I put in this slide are text, sound, image, and animation. For text can be seen on the teacher who is talking hello guys to attract attention only. After that, sound at the background. Then for the image, I use the school building as the background. And the last one is animation. I add some animation to attract attention like a tree with flying leaves. Users need to click start button at the door to start.
Okay.
After that, it will bring user to this page. User need to choose if they want to do lesson first or quiz first. The element that I use here is just element image only. Next.
All right. So for the lesson menu, I made the lesson menu. I used the element of text and image here. The element of image here is seen when I use an image of a hallway to portray a hallway to the lessons, and I use image to portray the buttons, the navigation buttons, which is the arrow key and the home button key, and I also use text to let the user know what button will lead them to. So as you can see here, this button will lead to lesson 1, and then this button will lead to lesson 2, and then this button will lead to lesson 3. So if I click lesson 1 here, it will go to Ash's slide, and he will explain his lesson. So let's go to lesson 1.
Thank you, Zul. So this is my title slide for my lesson 1, which is numbers from 1 to 100. So in this slide, I use the element of image, which is the background, the cardboard, and the stationaries, and also text to indicate which lesson the users are in. So my lesson 1 is numbers to understand. So click the start, Zul. Alright, so the element that I use for this lesson is element of background image. This is the background of the classroom. We kept the same concept, which like the school vibe for our project. And the title, the next element is text, which is the title, which is lesson 1, numbers from 1 to 10, and also the explanation that tells the user what is numbers from to 100. So next. And this is the next slide. We kept the same concept, which has the same element as well, which is the text from telling the user and explaining what is numbers from to 100, and element of images, which is the class background, and also the element of animation, which is the cloud for the moving slide. So next we have another same slide as before, but we added another element, which is video. So in this video, it shows the user of what is numbers from 1 to 100. This will help the user to get better understanding of what of lesson numbers from 1 to 100 is. So next. So next we go into our quiz. So this is my title site for my quiz. I kept the same concept as the lesson 1. So it has the that element of image, which is the background of the whiteboard, and also the stationaries, and the element of text, which is quiz 1, numbers 1 to 100. So click the start. So in this element, I use the element of image, which is the background of the blackboard and also the bricks, and also the element of text. In text shows that choose the correct answer, which explain or telling the user of what they should do on this question, which is MCQ. And the question 1 shows which number is the biggest among all numbers below. Users will read and choose the correct answer from A to B. So for example, the answer is obviously 80. So if user get the correct answer, you will go to this slide, which is the correct slide, I guess, or rating slide. And it has the element of animation, which is the stars as now, and the element of image, of the background, the stars, and element of text, which says good job, and also element of sound, which says yay or hooray. So next question. So it has total of 5 questions. So in order to just keep going. And there's also a wrong slide. So if Zul just pick on the wrong answer, so just yeah. So this is one of the hardest slide. If the user get the wrong answer, it will pop up this slide. So we keep the same concept, which is an element of animation of the set face, the element of text, it says wrong answer, and also the element of sound, and also image of the background. For the element of sound, it will say boo or try again. So in this slide, user will have to try again the questions to get the correct answer. So do we just skip everything? There. So once the user answer all the answers correctly, they will pop up this slide which tells them well done, they have answered all the answers correctly. So in this slide, I used to keep the same element, which is text and images, animation, and also sound. And in this slide, students can choose whether they want to retry the lesson to get better understanding or choose other topics that we have.
All right, for the next lesson, I made the lesson, which is lesson 2. And lesson 2 is about addition and subtraction of numbers from 1 till 100. So in this first slide, I use a total of 3 elements of multimedia, which is text, image, animation, and I guess that's all. So text, for text, I use it to explain what is addition about. There are 3 balls in the basket. 1 ball is added to the basket. 3 balls plus 1 ball equals to 4 balls. And for animation, for image, I use an image of a ball and a basket and an arrow to further their users' understanding on how addition works. And for the animation, I animated a ball going into a basket of 3 balls. So that indicates that 1 ball plus a basket with 3 balls equals to a basket full of 4 balls. And I also use image here in the navigation tools shown with the arrow keys and the home button. And there's also a little animation here for decoration purposes in the clock and the hand of the teacher. In the next slide, it's basically the same concept. I use text to explain what, instead of addition, I use text here to explain what subtraction is. And instead of adding 1 ball to the basket, I took out 1 ball from the basket. So here, 1 ball is taken out from a basket. So 1 ball minus 3 balls that was formerly in the basket equals to 2 balls left in the basket. And the same animation is still used in this slide, which is the animation for the clock and the teacher's hand moving. And the same image is used for the navigation tools. So here I am trying to explain 2-digit addition. So instead of using balls, I use blocks to uh, tell users how 2-digit addition works. So here we have 16 blocks added to 20 blocks, and if they added together, they become 36 blocks. Still the same animation for the clock and the teacher, and still the same image functions for the arrow keys and the home button, which is to navigate through the slides. And as for the next slide, we have 2-digit subtractions, where in the first one we have 80 blocks, and in the second one we have 36 blocks. So 80 blocks minus 36 blocks equals to 44 blocks. And the same image is still used here, an image of the classroom, image of the buttons, and animation of the teacher and the clock. If we move on to the next slide, there's the element of video here, and the element of video here is used to further enhance the user's understanding on this topic, which is about addition and subtraction of numbers from 1 till 100. So if users go to this slide, they can play the video to get a better grip on what this topic is all about. And the same animation and images is still used in this slide. So if we go to the next slide, uh, we have two elements of multimedia being used here, which is text. Text here is used to as an instruction for the user. So the instruction here is to choose the correct answer for every question, because in the next slide there will be a lot of quizzes for the user to answer. And the animation here is only used in the clock, and the element of image is also used here to display the vibe of the quiz, which is a classroom, because generally quizzes are always done in the classroom. And the same image is also being used here, like the navigation keys, the left and right one, and the home button one. In the next slide, this is basically what my quiz looks like. So let me explain how the quiz works. So we have the question on the left and the answers on the right. So let's say 1 plus 1. For some whatever reason, the user thinks 1 plus 1 equals to 3. So if we click 3 and it's the wrong answer, this slide will pop out. In this slide, it has the element of animation, text, image, and also sound. Text here is only used to give motivation to the user and also explain to the user what minus and plus means in case the user forgets what they mean. And image here is used to as a decoration purposes, so that the user doesn't lose motivation while they're trying to answer the questions. And also text is also used here as motivation. Try again, gambate, and gambate in Japanese means you can do it. And that's basically it for the image used here. If we clicked on this image right here, it will go back to the previous slide so that the user can answer the correct question. So let's say they finally got it. 1 plus 1 is not 3, it's 2. If you click on 2, it will turn green, and then this slide will pop out, which is the correct answer slide. And in this slide, we have animation, text, and image being used. Animation was the thing that you saw, the crowns jumping into the frame. And then this emoji thumbs up thing coming out from the bottom. And then you have image here for the correct answer logo, the moving button, the next question button, and then the home button. And there's also text here telling the user to basically, good job, you did amazing. So for the next slide, it's basically the same thing, but instead of addition, we have subtraction. Same thing. If they got the wrong answer, wait, that's the right answer. If they got the right answer, the same slide will pop out. And if they got the wrong answer, the wrong slide will pop out. And that's basically how my quiz works. And in this slide, after the user answer all the questions in the slides, this slide will pop out. In this slide, I have the element of text, image, and animation here. Text here is to tell the user, well done, you have answered all the questions correctly, to congratulate the user, to make them feel good. And then image here is to display the classroom again, and the stars as a congratulations gift for the user to indicate they did a good job. And animation here is only the clock. It's only for decoration purposes because it honestly looks nice. And the other text here is the retry button and other topics button. If users click the retry button, they will go back to the questions and they can try to answer the questions again. But if they click the other topics button, they will go to the lesson menu and they can try to answer or learn other lessons in this interactive learning content. So I'll click on the other topics button so that we can go to lesson 3, which is Shaufi's lesson. Shaufi.
So this is the last one, which is my part, lesson 3. To start the lesson, user need to click at the button down there. So the element that I put here is image, is a hallway, and a text. Next. So for the first lesson, I just put an example of Malaysian money and its pronunciation. Then this one is next. After that, the next lesson explained that money can divide to cent. So here is an example. 1 ringgit can be divided to 2 pieces of 50 cent, 5 pieces of 20 cent, and so on. Also same for 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit, 50 ringgit, and 100 ringgit. Skip. So the multimedia element that I put on the lesson is text, image, and animation. For the text function to explain about money, the image I choose classroom as a background, and animation I just put a teacher at the side bottom who is acting like explaining about this topic, and the clock at the top. Next. So next, proceed to my quiz. First, it will show like this. Back. uh, User need to click the button down there. Okay, next. For the quiz, I have 3 stages that students have to go through. For the first question, students just need to choose which is the correct pronunciation for money. If they answer correctly, it will show like this. Can you choose the correct answer? The element I put here is image, animation, and text. So the image I choose is classroom. Animation I put teacher, and last one is text. Okay, next. Then if they answer wrong, I provide some button help by by pressing this button help. It will take the student to go to this page. So the element that I put here is animation, text, and video. So the video is just to give to get more lesson about this topic, like that. So next. Question 2. Okay. For question 2 and 3, the concept to answer is still the same for question. For question 2, student must think how much small value to equate the number with the money in question. Example, to get 1 ringgit, how much 10 cent is needed? Is it 100 or 10 pieces of 10 cent? And so on. Next, question 3.
Next question.
3. So the last one is question 3. Same with the same 2. Student need to choose the same value with the question, but the answer is given in the form of money. So the element I put here is animation, text, and image. Image is still same classroom, but different design. Animation I put same teacher and text. So next, that's it for my part.
And that concludes our interactive learning content from our group 19. So that concludes our presentation for our interactive learning content. Yeah.
So we hope that our user like enjoy our interactive content, also gain more knowledge and have fun as well. So yeah,
So yeah, that
Thank you,
concludes
madam.
everything. Thank
thank
you,
you,
madam,
madam.
for listening to our presentation, and happy new year, madam.
Yeah, thank you for throughout the journey.
All right. Bye, madam. Peace, madam.
Bye, madam.
Assalamualaikum, madam.
Salam.
Salam.
Assalamualaikum.